YouTube decided I'm no longer allowed to use the music in my intro, so now, until I find another one, you're stuck with my voice.
What is up, guys? This is Lintheo, coming at you with another card return ban list discussion, since my original one with Yata kind of got a lot of interest. So without further ado, I'm going to get into another one. First off, Shaved, as everyone out there seems to really care. The card that I'm going to talk about is Thousand Eyes Restrict. So Thousand Eyes Restrict has been banned since September 2006. If you played in that format, you will know all too well it is called the GOAT format, because it was basically Thousand Eyes Restrict, Metamorphosis, and Scapegoats. So there were other things like Tribe, Infected Virus were around, and Breaker was kind of the biggest thing. But it's not what I'm on about. I want to talk about Thousand Eyes Restrict, and if it can return to the game today. Now, a lot of you might automatically think, like Yata, no, you can't. It can't come back. It's too broken. Don't do it at all. Well, there are a couple of things that I want to go over if it could return in today's meta and the impact that it would have. Basically, something interesting. So, take the conception of what it used to do, put that aside, just like Yata. Just get rid of that and just listen to what I have to say. So I've been doing a lot of thinking on it. Personally, I really love Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's one of my favourite fusion monsters, just from back in the day because I used to play it. But I'm also putting that to side and having it as a neutral and unbiased opinion as possible. Let's go into the card. If you don't know what it does, the effect reads as follows. It needs Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Idol as kind of rituals to ritual summon it. Other monsters cannot change their battle position or attack once per turn. You can equip one monster your opponent controls to this card, maximum one. This card's attack and defense becomes the same as the equipped monster. If this card would be destroyed by battle, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. So back in the day, you used to summon this card basically by playing Scapegoat and then Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is now banned. That was gone since 2007, I think it was. But that's how you summoned, Thousand Eyes Idol normally, and then you just sucked up the monster and then kept using, for example, Tsukiyomi to flip yours down, flip it face up, take it, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how you created a lock. Technically, you could do that if you polymerizationed or fusion gated today, but that means you're running some horrible cards. But alas, the card was really feared. It kind of sparked a lot of horror with it just being able to lock down your opponent and such. But in today's game, I was wondering how would it impact, how would you summon it, and so on and so forth. So there are the usual ways you can actually summon it by doing Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Idol. But the one that everyone's been harping on about is Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion would be the most broken card in the game. Instant Fusion would break everything about it, and it would just be an on-spot removal. You play Instant Fusion, you get rid of whatever monster your opponent has. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but you're paying 1,000 life points to take someone's monster, and then for it to die at the end phase. So you're using effectively two cards to get rid of their one card. There are cards like that nowadays. Soul Exchange you can use if you really want to use that. Soul Taker is another one that you can just get rid of. Smashing Ground, removal cards, there are plenty out there that you can still use. So how is Relinquished any different? Because arguably Relinquished opens you up to be more vulnerable. With Smashing Ground or Soul Exchange, for example, obviously there are certain criteria. Defense for one, and you're giving your opponent life points for the other. But you can't really stop them with as many cards that you can with a monster. So if you go Instant Fusion, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Effect, Veiler, Fiendish Chain, all these cards that now exist can completely stop it in its tracks, and then at the end phase it dies. What is the point in that? And let's not forget what Instant Fusion does. The card isn't allowed to attack. So what's the point in just sucking it up and then that's it? There are cards that do that better. If you want to talk about monsters, number 101 Arc does that a lot better, arguably, If this card could come back, what decks would it be good in? Monarchs could use it if you really want, as a nice kind of plus off your opponent. You can do Instant Fusion, take it, Caius, for example, to remove and get a plus. But I don't think that's really the best combo. I mean, there are better things you can use for Monarchs, and it just seems a little bit strange that people are really scared of this card. If there's one thing that would be better kind of combo for Instant Fusion, would be Panzer Dragon. Panzer Dragon is a new machine that's kind of not been released to TCG yet, but that's a level 5 machine that when it's destroyed, it's the graveyard, you destroy one card on the field. So Instant Fusion Panzer, do your normal things, Panzer goes pop. Arguably that's better than doing Thousand Eyes Restrict, because you don't have to interact with its effect on the field. It just goes to the graveyard, activates, and then goes. So arguably that one's better, surely, is it not? There are many arguments as to why Thousand Eyes Restrict shouldn't come back, but I kind of disagree with them all, because I think most of the people are more scared of the history of Thousand Nights Restrict and what it used to do, as opposed to what it does now and what it would do now. I know that Scapegoat is around, but Metamorphosis isn't. So I think Thousand Nights Restrict could come back, and it's one of those cards that I think, like Tsukiyomi, could go 1, 2, and 3. It could even go to 3, and I don't think it would do that much. Obviously, people are going to come around with decks that are completely centered around Thousand Nights Restrict, kind of, give you a bit of a headache, but there are a lot of cards that can get around Thousand Nights Restrict nowadays. The possibilities are like kind of huge. So if you drill down to what Thousand Nights Restrict actually stops you doing, so it takes one of your monsters once per turn, doesn't die by battle positions can't be changed, or you can't attack. So there's a couple of game mechanics that have been locked down there straight away, but this doesn't stop you from special summoning. This doesn't stop you from activating your effects, so you can quite happily get around it. It doesn't mean that you don't need to attack just to get over it. There are a lot of ways to remove a monster from the field. People's argument of saying that Instant Fusion essentially would become the best removal card in the game, I disagree. You're using more cards to try and get rid of your opponent's cards, where there are other removal cards that require so much less. I'm not entirely sure why people are so scared of it. I think they're a little bit stuck in their ways, but it is warranted because it was a formidable force back then, but now I just don't think it is. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Thousand Nights Restrict? Did you ever play in the format? Or I'm pretty sure a lot of people have played GOAT format just a couple of formats ago. Everyone started playing it because it was something a little bit more interesting. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Can Thousand Nights Restrict come back? If it can't, tell me why. Give valid reasons as to like combos that would really make the game completely unplayable because that card comes back. Or is it just because you think that it is a little bit broken, but it's actually not? So let me know. As I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.